If you have felt sick and tired and are ready to stop feeling sick and tired because you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, this episode is for you. So many women that I've talked to have just told me in one way, shape, or the other, through different words or through these same words, that they're just tired. They're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. They're tired of not having the energy they want, tired of not reaching their goals, not feeling healthy, or loving the body and the skin they're in. And I just wanted to address that in this episode. So in this episode, I just lead you through 3 questions, simple yet powerful reflection questions to ask yourself on how to really move forward when you're finally to that point that you no longer want to feel sick and tired. And then I share the juicy details about my 6-week group program that is open for registration now, that has a special bonus, i.e., one-on-one session when you register by June 25th. So definitely listen to this episode if you're tired of feeling sick and tired. Check out the details on the bootcamp and book a call with me in the show notes so we can see if this 6-week program is a great fit for you. Okay? Enjoy the episode and I'll talk to you soon. You're listening to the More Than Your Weight podcast, and I am your host, Brianna Wilkerson. For over half my life, I had to really pay attention to my relationship with food, my body, and myself. As a young girl, I started to find my worth in my weight and my work, and started to define my beauty and my body and my value through how I looked and how other people saw me. That led to disordered ways of eating, of exercising, and really just a poor relationship with my body and myself. And then when I started to finally see that my worth was not in my weight, it was not in how I looked, and it was not in what people thought of me, that's when I found breakthrough and freedom. And ever since, it's been my mission to help other women do the same. I am on a mission to see other women find peace with food, feel confident in their bodies again, and develop a healthy lifestyle that's more than about what they weigh. Now, weight loss is not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think when we are approaching it from a place of value or a place of trying to find our worth in it, that's when it can really trip us up. So I want you to find peace with food, to find your version of food freedom, your version of body confidence and love, and a healthy lifestyle that is about so much more than what the scale says. So this podcast is going to help you do that. You're going to find solo episodes, guest interviews, all designed to really speak from the heart, give you some new ways of thinking and acting so that you can start to also believe and walk in the truth that you are more than your weight. And from time to time, I'll throw in an essential oils episode because I'm also a lover of essential oils. So I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so honored to be a part of this journey with you. So please, before you get into the interview or the podcast or leave, I want to make sure you do a couple things. Make sure you join my free Facebook group, the More Than Your Weight Facebook community. This is a women's community designed to support you in really unpacking these episodes. I also host free trainings, free challenges to really kind of support you more in this journey. Also, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, rate and review, but also subscribe to my weekly newsletter so you'll never miss a podcast episode. You can find all the links for that in the show notes. So make sure after you listen that you go do those things. Okay? So excited for this episode and so excited to journey with you. All right, enjoy. Friends, today we have a special episode that I just was like, what am I going to talk about for this episode? And I just started thinking about the common phrase like sick and tired, and I just was like, why don't we talk about what to do when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired? And the reason why this has come to my mind and I want to have this conversation is because so many of the women that come into my audience, come into my community, and maybe listen to my podcast, or just even the women that I end up working with are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And what I mean by that is that they're sick and tired of feeling sick. Maybe they actually are sick. Maybe there's some health concerns going on. Maybe they just feel sick. Maybe they don't feel as healthy as they once would. Maybe they don't feel as energetic as they once did. And they're just tired of feeling that way, tired of feeling that no matter what you do, or they do, that they'll never reach their goal weight. And maybe this is you. So can I just speak to you versus just speaking about women out there? Maybe this is you. Like maybe you're tired of feeling like your energy is constantly running away from you. Maybe you're tired of not sleeping. Maybe you're tired of not feeling comfortable in your skin. Maybe you're tired of struggling with your relationship with food and feeling like you're constantly giving into cravings, constantly emotionally eating, not sure how to eat with your busy life. Like you're just all of these things that feel like obstacles are standing in your way. Maybe you're just tired of feeling like no matter what you do, you're just going to constantly not feel healthy and just feel sick and tired. And if that's you, I want you to get to the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like I just want you to get to the point where enough is enough, where you're not settling for second best, where you're really going to put your foot down, invest in yourself in the way you need, whether it's through time, money, resources, and prove to yourself that you deserve to feel healthy and energetic again. Okay, because we're waiting. It's almost like we're waiting on permission. We're waiting on permission for others to tell us it's okay to take care of ourselves. We're waiting on permission and time. Wait, when our kids are off at school, when X, Y, and Z happens. But let me tell you, it's not going to ever happen, because the habits that you have set up for yourself are going to continue to go. The habits we have set up for ourselves are going to continue to happen. I think we're waiting for it's like Cinderella. Like we're waiting for our Prince Charming to come. We're waiting for the magic slipper. But I think we need to realize that we have the choice and we have the power to change things. You have the choice and you have the power to change how you feel and to change your health right now. And I think that takes intentionality, and I think it just takes you making the decision to come to the point where you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So that's the first thing. You need to decide that you're tired of the way that your health and your life is right now and that you really want change. Because many of us are like, oh, I want change, but then they just keep going about as normal. You don't want it bad enough. I want you to want it bad enough. And sometimes this may take a while for you to get to that point, but I want you to want that for yourself. I can't want it for you. Your family member can't want it for you. Your kids can't want it for you. No one can want it for you. You have to want it for yourself. And even when everyone else around you is maybe not taking care of their health and themselves, even when everyone else around you is doing other things, you have to decide that you are going to walk your path to take care of yourself in the best way possible. Okay? And I think there are 3 things to do when you are feeling sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So I'm going to talk about those things, and then I'm going to talk about a special program that I have open for registration now, that I'm going to help 10 women stop feeling sick and tired. Stop feeling like they're struggling with their weight. Stop feeling like they're struggling with their food. Stop feeling like that their worth and their health is wrapped up just in their weight, and to really see that there's so much more. And I'm going to help them figure out how to apply these 3 things, okay? And hopefully that's you. Hopefully you are one of those 10, okay? So the first step to not feeling sick and tired anymore is to find out what's causing you to feel sick and tired. And this takes a lot of self-reflection. This takes really just being honest with yourself about the things that maybe you're participating in that's contributing, and the things that are happening around you. I think often we are looking at the outside in versus the inside out, thinking that the life is happening to us and it's my job's fault, it's my kid's fault, it's all these other faults. And those are real things. Those are real things in our environment that we need to deal with. So when we're making goals, we need to really consider all of that. But I think sometimes it's inward. I think sometimes it's us seeing that we're not going to bed early when we know we can. We're not drinking the water that we know we want to or need to drink. We're not making the decision to spend 30 extra minutes a week to meal plan or meal prep or to figure out what we're going to eat each day. We have to recognize there are things that are happening to us, sometimes things that are outside of our control and we need to deal with and we need to work around. But there are things on the inside, things that we are just not motivated, or we're just tired, or we're feeling hopeless, or we're feeling discouraged. And so really take some time to ask yourself, what in your environment do you feel is leading and maybe causing you to kind of feel sick and tired and feel like you can't move forward in your health goals? And then what's inside? What do you have control? So there are things we don't have control over, and there are things we do have control over. What things do you actually have control over that maybe you just to this point just haven't taken the initiative as much as you should, right? Because when you give yourself that honest reflection, what's really happening, what's really going on the outside and in the inside, then you can move forward. But if we're constantly just saying, I don't want to say making excuses, but sometimes like saying this is happening outside or this, and this, we're never going to get to the point where we're really sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Okay. And so, I just want to acknowledge there are things that are outside of our control and the inside out. If you have an autoimmune condition, certain health conditions, certain injuries, certain all these things, I'm not trying to disregard that. But what I'm trying to get you to the point is to take off a fixed mindset hat and put on a growth mindset hat. And a fixed mindset says nothing can change. Things are just the way they are. While the growth says, you know what, there are some things that are maybe not as hard, maybe can't change. But I think there are things that can change. Because when you put on that growth mindset, you're going to start to see opportunities for you to move forward in your health, even though it may look different than you have in the past. So, at this point, last week, my daughter was 1 year old. And being a mother, running a business, taking care of my kid, it's very different than my life when I was working full-time jobs and with my business on the side, and I wasn't a parent. It's just very different. And the way that I'm wanting to be in my daughter's life right now, it does mean I'm taking care of her a lot more the majority of the day. And so with that, I have to recognize there are certain limitations. And I have to recognize also that I am sometimes setting limitations. Like, for example, if I told myself now that I'm not sleeping as much which I'm not as I once was or whatever, I can't work out, then I would never work out. But what if I actually make the decision to, instead of going crazy one day, just saying like, you know what, I'm just going to move a little bit, or I'm going to do a 10-minute workout that I'm not breaking up a sweat, but I'm just moving. I'm not letting an obstacle or a barrier keep me from moving forward, particularly when it comes to working out. Yes, my body is different. I'm definitely a couple sizes bigger, I guess. I'm definitely, I think, heavier. I haven't stepped on the scale in like 8 months, but at the same time, I don't care as much as I don't care because my body is, one, sustaining a human, but two, it's like life is just different. I'm not doing the activity that I used to, and things are just different. And it's a season, and I'm okay with that. And so I'm looking as a mom saying, like, what can I do to be true to the season, true to my desires, to be with my children, but also true to my desires that, hey, one, I want to run a business. And so one, getting support in the business, but also in my life so that I can run the business. But two, taking care of myself so I can be a present mom. I can be a present wife. I can be a present disciple. I can be just present in all the things that I'm doing, and taking care of my health and my body and my mind is very much a part of that. Right. And don't get me wrong. I go sometimes into a victim mentality too, but I think, I don't want to say victim mentality, but just saying like where like the idea of like something's happening to me versus like, what am I contributing to that as well? Okay. So I just want to challenge you with step number one. It's just asking yourself, what's in your environment? What's outside that may be contributing to you feeling sick and tired, but what's also within? What are you responsible for? Because sometimes we cannot change our environment. Sometimes you can, but we can change what we're responsible for and what we're contributing to. Okay. The second is just asking yourself what you've tried before. What have you tried before to either change your environment or change within? Like what diet plans, what exercise plans, what habits have you tried before? And asking yourself which one of those worked and which one of those didn't. Because sometimes we get into a cycle of trying to continue to do things that don't work. And sometimes we want to do new things and we forget what has worked. This happens all the time for me in business too. I'm just like, do what works, do what people, resonate with or whatever. And same thing with my health. So what works for me in this season, I want to keep repeating versus trying to be like, I'm going to, do this elaborate, 2-hour or 1 hour exercise routine and do all this stuff. And I'm like, that's just not realistic. So even now, like I'm a part of this workout community called Street Parking, and I have some podcasts with one of the coaches coming up. And they have challenges that are going on in the summer. I really want to do some of those just because I want to get back into running. I want to use my sandbag more, all those things. But I realize I have family visiting. I'm going back home, and it's just going to be a very different summer. So I'm like, I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. So what works in this season is just to continue to stick to my 4 times a week exercise and walks. That's just what works. Okay. And I'm not going to try to add anything else in there. It's going to make my brain crazy, and I'm not going to be consistent, and then I'm going to feel bad about it. Okay. So asking myself what works in this current season or has worked before is very important for me being consistent in sustaining my results. So up until I had my daughter, I sustained my weight loss results and my food freedom, healthy habits for 7 years, which is the longest I've ever sustained any health goal or result, right? And it was because of this. I wasn't worried about what didn't work. I was so focused on what did work. And maybe you're like, well, Brianna, I haven't found anything that works yet. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I'm pretty sure in your life, there's been one or two things that has worked well for you in regards to achieving your goals. And I will say this, sometimes there are things that work well in achieving part of your goals. So maybe there's a certain program that helps you manage your weight, but maybe you also need to be thinking about, if you struggle with the mindset portion around eating and all that, then that program in the past may help you with the habits, but you need to also seek support around the mindset. Because guess what? If you're really sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and you're back to a place that you once were, or if it feels like even like 10 steps back, then yes, we want to do what's worked before, but we also want to ask ourselves, and this goes to number 3, what we really need to really find the breakthrough, to really find the food freedom, to really develop confidence with our body, to really recognize we're more than weight, and really to develop a healthy lifestyle that's more than just about our weight. All right. So yes, what in your environment is causing you, externally is causing the sick and tiredness, and internally, maybe through your habits or your mindset. But then 2, what's worked in the past? What have you tried? What's worked? What hasn't worked? But then 3, what do you need right now to really not just get back to where you were, but to go even 10 steps forward? And this, I think for a lot of people, what they most need right now is accountability, is coaching, is mindset work, and is a lot of grace for themselves, because we are just so hard on ourselves as women in particular. And we need to just recognize that it's all about those simple steps too. But that's mindset work. And that's why I focused a lot on I know a lot about healthy habits. I know a lot about the body. I know a lot about things that can work for you. But I think often where we're forgetting that mindset portion. And so many of the women that I've worked with as clients, so many women that I've jumped on calls with that are in my community have told me that mindset is where they're at. Okay. And that's what they most need support on. They need support around the practical tools, but they need support around really seeing that diets, the scale, all these sort of things are just promising results that aren't sustainable if they're not working on their mindset. Okay, and that goes back to the fixed and growth mindset around as well, right? So 3 things. If you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, this is what you need to do. You need to ask yourself what's causing you to feel sick and tired in your environment, and also maybe the things you're contributing to, like your habits or your thoughts. 2, you need to ask yourself what you've tried before, what's worked, what hasn't worked. And even though some things has worked, look at the whole picture. Look at all your goals, where all the areas you need to work on, and then ask yourself, what do you need? Is it accountability? Is it coaching? Is it a support group? Like, is it community? Is it some training? Is it some education? Maybe there are things you just don't know, and you just don't know how to customize a health program for yourself, right? And so I think when you take a step, and I mean, do this. Summer's coming, summer's here. Just take 15, 20, 30 minutes, get a journal out, get a phone, talk it through if you need to, and just ask yourself those 3 questions. What in my environment or within me is causing me to feel sick and tired? What have I tried before that's helped me not feel sick and tired? But also then, what do I need to not feel sick and tired for the long haul? Okay? And I want to offer you a solution to kind of address all those things. But also then as you reflect, let me know in the Facebook group, let me More Than Your Weight Women's Community, let me know on Instagram, let me know via email your answers to these questions. I just would love to hear your processing around those, because everyone's different, and I love just learning from all of you. But I want to tell you about my More Than Your Weight 6-week bootcamp. That is open for registration now, and is open for the next, I believe this is going live on the 15th, so the next 10 days. Well, it's open till August when the actual program is. But the special bonus of a one-on-one session with me during the summer, you will get that if you sign up by the 25th. So this More Than Your Weight 6-week bootcamp is a combination of simple steps around the mindset and habit portion to really help women find the food freedom they want, feel confident in their bodies again, and develop a healthy lifestyle that's more than about their weight and is focused on mind, body, and soul. And, I've just worked with so many women who have tried so many diets, so many health plans, and they're wondering if it's truly possible for them to break free from these food struggles. Is it truly possible to not feel sick and tired anymore? And that's exactly why I created this 6-week boot camp. It is for you if you are ready to break free from emotional eating and cravings and find peace with food. If you're ready to love on and take care of your body no matter what size, shape, or scale number it's at. If you're ready to do the mindset and habits work to have the healthy body and life you long for. If you're ready to have a coach and a community to encourage you and hold you accountable along the way. And if you're ready to finally find a healthy living routine that is sustainable and fits you and your unique life. If you are tired of feeling sick and tired, this is for you. So this program includes a variety of different offerings to really support you in getting the breakthrough that you need. And now, obviously, we're all busy and sometimes you can't make use of all of them. But even if you just come to some of the group coaching calls, even if you just watch some of the videos, you're going to get a lot of breakthrough. So let me tell you what it includes. It includes a weekly group coaching call. We're all going to jump on Zoom. We're going to just process the materials for that week, but we'll also just give you some live coaching for where you're at, even if you didn't get a chance to watch the video. But there's some area of your health you want support around. Well, I'm going to act as your coach in that moment, and then your fellow community boot campers are going to help and offer you some support and advice. There are weekly short training videos and worksheets to kind of frame the concept that we're going to talk about that week, and I'll get to what we're going to cover each week. There is a food journal and habits tracker. You guys have probably heard me talk about this tracker as in the few weeks prior when we did the reset. This is, instead of just that, if you purchase that, that's just a glimpse of the bigger 6-week one that I provide for this program, where I kind of outline some suggestions on how you can grow in certain habits. And then it goes along each week of the tracker, and the journal goes along with the weekly videos and worksheets. So you're going to get that as a tool to help you keep track of everything. There's going to be a private Facebook group support where you can ask questions, celebrate each other, and just be fully supported 24/7 whenever you need it in this Facebook group. And then lastly, there's a bootcamp toolkit, and this is where you're going to get meal planning tips, food charts, a rewards point tracker, recipes, fitness plans, and some other tools to really help you not just set a habit that you have, but also learn how to implement the habit. Okay, so the spaces are limited. We start on August 30th, and you might be like, Branda, that's like 2 months away. Yes, but I think it's very important. I understand the summer. The summer's busy and summer's just not the normal flow. But August, I have seen it. That's when people are ready to get back into it. So I'm asking all those of you who are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired to take action. Ask you if this is something you need, then pay your deposit. Like, book a call with me. Let's see if it's a fit, and pay your deposit. Because not only are you going to get that one-on-one session to help support you in the summer, but you're also you're proving to yourself that you have what it takes to get what you need, and that no longer are you going to let yourself feel sick and tired, whether it's you contributing to that or others or in your environment. All right, so that's why I'm talking about it. So this early is because I want to give support to you in between in the summer, but I also want every woman that signs up to really prove to themselves that they are worthy and deserve time and attention and the support they're going to get in this program. Okay, so each week we're going to cover a different topic. I'll just give you a brief overview so you get a flow, and then I have a PDF on this boot camp that if you want to get that PDF and learn more about it, there will be a way in the show notes to do that, either, emailing me, or I think I might have a link to get it. And then definitely if you book a call with me, I can send you that information. But the first one is to create aligned goal setting, actually create goals where you're at, not where the group is at, where you're at for the 6 weeks. And we're going to talk about affirmations during that time and the importance of affirming ourselves in those goals as we take action. Then we're going to talk about food freedom in week 2. Just this is where the mindset comes around diets, food, your body, the scale, all of those things. Then week 3, we're going to talk about healthy habits, just some tips around the areas you've identified you want to work on. So whether that's nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, toxic load, digestion. Then we're going to talk about primary food in week 4. And this is the stuff that primarily feeds you that's not on your plate. This is beyond the plate, right? And that's your relationships, your finances, your career, your calling, mindset, spirituality, physical health, even a little bit. So we're going to talk about that in week 4. Week 5, we're going to talk about, this is one of the most important weeks, beyond the scale victories. This is where we're going to be identifying goals that we have, not just for the 6 weeks, but beyond, that are not just about the scale. Like it could be a better mood, it could be better energy, fitting into your clothes better, it could be able to run with no pain, like stuff like that. Like those are actually the goals we want, that the scale or our measurements will never capture. Okay. But when we do all the other work from weeks 1 to 4, we start to see the results of that. And we'll also talk about visualizations in that week. And then week 6, we practice a celebration and gratitude. We'll reflect on the past, 5 or 6 weeks, and really help you go through a process of reflecting and celebrating where you're at, but also learning how to adjust your goals going forward after the 6 weeks. And again, if you sign up and register by the 25th, you will get $100 off of the regular price, as well as the bonus 30-minute food freedom intensive to use during the summer to work on the mindset, to work on the habits, to really kind of set yourself up well for the summer. All right. And in the PDF, I share more about my story. There's some testimonials and all of that. But I think if you are just to the place that you are ready, sweet friend, you are ready for a change, and you're tired of feeling sick and tired, I really challenge you to invest in yourself through this 6-week program. And I want you to, yes, come book a call with me. I think that's the next action point for you, is book a call so that you can learn more about it, so we can just talk. I can really advise you, is this a fit for you or not, and talk about the best way going forward for you. That's why I call it a clarity call. So book a call where then I can send you all the details on this program, and we can chat, because I really, really want as many women as possible to be able to join us. Well, I'm going to try to cap it at 10, but I want the women who are ready and who are ready to no longer feel sick and tired. And I want to support you through this amazing transformational 6-week program that I've led one-on-one clients to. And this is the first time I'm offering it as a group in this format. And so book a coaching clarity call at madewell345.com/clarity. And I really hope to chat with you. And again, if you leave that call and you're like, it's not a great fit or not the right time, that's okay. But you're never going to know unless you at least book that call. All right. So let me know some way, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, email, your answers to those 3 questions, like what may be causing you to feel sick and tired, what you've tried before that has worked and hasn't worked in making you not feel sick and tired, and then what do you need to not feel sick and tired going forward. All right. But then book that coaching clarity call so we can talk before the 25th so that you can get this bonus. All right. Thanks so much for having me pop into your ears each week. It is a privilege and it's an honor, and I don't take it lightly. And that is why I try my best to curate good interviews, great content to really support you on your more than your weight journey. All right. Have a good one, and hope to talk to you soon on the clarity call. Hope to hear from you about these answers to the questions. And hope to see you on the next episode. Bye. That's it. That's another episode of the More Than Your Weight podcast. I hope that you're leaving encouraged and inspired to continue to walk in your more than your weight journey. But before you leave, I want you to know You're not alone. And I want you to really walk in that by joining my free group, the More Than Your Weight Women's Community. This is a space where you can unpack the podcast episodes, get support throughout your week. And also make sure you subscribe to my newsletter by signing up for weekly updates when podcasts come out, as well as all the other things that I'm offering in my business. And if you're not about Facebook, or even maybe you're not about email, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Madewell345 to show you the behind the scenes of my life, my business, and also to support you there. Okay, I just had a blast in this episode, and I hope that these episodes have really been just encouraging you and inspiring you to know that you are more than your weight. Okay, that's it, and I'll see you on the next one.